This time, Islamic Secret will reveal the story of a German doctor who converted to Islam after convicting a Muslim patient of breast cancer. The doctor discovered Islamic guidance after his patient experienced something beyond the doctor's understanding. One day, the Muslim woman came to visit a hospital. The patient was in Germany for treatment for an illness he was suffering from, and this woman was treated by a Catholic doctor after a biopsy or removal of body tissue for laboratory examination. And the results turned out that the woman had very serious breast cancer, and the development of the cancer was already at stage 4. The hospital and Catholic doctors stated that this Muslim woman was unable to survive the cancer that had been eating away at her body for a long time. The woman was sentenced to not recover and only had 14 days to live. Hearing the doctor's words, the Muslim woman then said to her husband, "Oh, my husband, the doctor has said that I will not last long. I want to spend the rest of my life in Mecca. I want to go there even though my condition is very bad." Her husband complied with his wife's request. He took care of visas, tickets, and so on for 3 days for their departure to the city of Mecca. Long story short, of the 14 days given by the doctor, 3 days had been used up for the visa process and the departure process on day 4. After this Muslim woman and her husband arrived in the city of Mecca, this woman entered the Grand Mosque to perform Umrah. Her body was getting weaker due to stage 4 cancer. She continued to try to perform the Umrah with the help of her husband. After performing the Umrah, the Muslim woman felt anxious and no longer had an appetite. Day after day, she just sat in the Haram Mosque crying and praying to Allah. This Muslim woman cried not because of the illness she was suffering from, and prayed not for her to recover, but this woman cried because of the sins she had committed and the little worship she had done while she was still in good health. His sadness continued to drag on because she believed the doctor's words that she could only live a few more days. At that time, a woman wearing a veil arrived who was tasked with managing the prayer queue at the Grand Mosque. The woman wearing the veil asked the Muslim woman with cancer why she was so sad. Finally, they got to know each other and told about the illness she was suffering from. After listening to the complaints of the Muslim woman who had cancer, this veiled woman then said, "Oh, my sister, why are you so sure of the doctor's verdict? Don't healthy people also die? Don't sick people also die? When death comes, Allah calls him to die. But Islam provides an opportunity for us to try really hard. If Allah wills, there will be a way out." Here at the Haram Mosque, apart from asking Allah, which you do, you can ask to be healed with Zamzam water, which was promised by Muhammad. As the Prophet said, Zamzam is according to the intention of the person who drinks it. Why don't you try drinking Zamzam and pray to Allah to be healed? After listening to the advice of the veiled woman, the woman who was suffering from cancer immediately drank Zamzam water and said, "I feel like I just got fresh water and have been thirsty for a long time." While in Mecca, the woman drank Zamzam water every day, while praying to Allah to be healed from his illness. Then suddenly they had to return to their home country, feeling that they were getting better. The woman who had cancer then went with her husband to see the doctor for control. After the woman had another biopsy or body tissue taken for laboratory examination, how surprised the doctor was to see that the woman's cancer had disappeared down to its roots. The doctor was curious and then asked the two of them about where they had been for treatment recently and what medicine the woman was taking. "Where have you been for treatment for the past 2 weeks? Who is the doctor and what medicine are you taking?" asked the doctor curiously. Then, casually and honestly, the woman answered that she did not go for treatment as the doctor thought. The woman explained that she only went to Mecca and drank Zamzam water while asking Allah for healing. Hearing the patient's answer, the doctor immediately told the patient that the breast disease she was suffering from had disappeared from its roots. "Congratulations, this cancer has never been cured by a doctor, but it has disappeared from its roots," said the doctor. The woman spontaneously cried with her husband. Both of them never stopped giving thanks for God's extraordinary blessings. Meanwhile, the doctor suddenly took out a German translation of the Quran and revealed an extraordinary fact. You need to know, I have studied Islam for 10 years. I want to find something that touches my heart so that I can embrace Islam. But nothing has touched my heart yet. But because this incident is in the field where I work and I know exactly about breast cancer, it is enough for me to say the Shahada and convert to Islam, said the doctor. And finally the Catholic doctor said the Shahada sentence guided by his patient. It was truly extraordinary guidance that this doctor received. How Allah strategizes for His servants to find guidance in an extraordinary way that will be remembered for the rest of their lives. Hidayah is an open heart to accept Allah subhanahu and an open chest to believe in the truth of the Islamic religion. The guidance a person gets can guide him on the right path. One of the guidance that someone often looks for is when the person does not yet believe in Allah and Islam, but is interested in learning about it. Such a person will usually do various things to get the guidance he wants. They will usually study through translated Al-Quran or visit historical places.